going to be our episode 2 on Sacred Narratives page. And very happy to host you, somebody who has lived all your life, all through the time you have been in Varanasi, the place where millions of people aspire to just visit once in lifetime, and you've been there like throughout. And having a conversation with you is such a bliss to know, a lot of information from you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So while talking about Varanasi, I know the place name is Varanasi, Banaras, Kashi. And when we talk about this specifically on social media, the trend is not just the temples, not just the atmosphere. What I observe specifically in recent days, the trend about Varanasi is more about the Ganga Aarti, right? So I really would like to know what exactly this mesmerizing ritual is. And do you think it is a ritual that is widely getting attention these days, or the social media kind of hyping it up more? So what do you personally think about?
Okay, so Ganga Aarti is not just a ritual, I would say. It's an experience. You have to be there to, experience the vibe. There are so many people, you will be surrounded by people. Everyone has their hopes, they have their dreams, they come there with an aspiration. They have, so much spiritualism in their heart, and they are ready to be there and devote themselves towards that. And when you're there, you will feel all the priests going in synchronization, the chants. You just have to close your eyes and you will feel that yes, God is there. If even if you don't believe in God, you will feel that yes, there is an energy which is, it hits you here, and that energy, spreads all over your body, your mind and soul. It takes over everything. So when social media is hyping this, I would say it is well deserved hype, because it is something I would personally want everyone to experience. It's not just arti. Basically, arti is an offering to God, but it's not just
Hmm.
that. It's way more than that. When you're there, you will feel uh, the mantras going together. It will hit exact spot that will explain you why you are there. There will be so much noise, it will be very loud, but still you will find that peace. And that is
Hmm.
why it is such a blissful experience. And if social media is hyping it, I would say, why not? Why not, spread this beauty all among the world and let everyone experience it? So I would say that if social media is hyping it, it's so good, it's perfect, they should keep doing it.
So one question that I have is, it's no matter how much have we developed, being from roadways to the railways and to easy commutation that happen today in airways, the belief of visiting Varanasi is remaining the same among Hindus. It's like once in lifetime experience. So I see, there are people before visiting Varanasi, they perform a lot of puja, praying to their family deities, to a lot of demigods, and performing minor rituals at home, and only then they leave to Varanasi. Even after coming from there, a lot of rituals that continue to happen. So that is the kind of energy, the vibe that city has to offer. Now, after all this spiritual experiences coming from the city, what do you think that the city itself has to offer to the tourists, the devotees of Varanasi?
So yeah, visiting Varanasi is like a lifelong dream for so many people. I visited Goa, and there I met non-Indian people. Like I met foreigners. There was this one girl Emma, and there was this another guy Sam from America, and they were
Hmm.
so mesmerized. They really, really wanted to visit this city. It has so much importance, the history, the spiritualism, the experience, everything speaks a lot. Data, everything has its own story. And
Hmm.
once people are here, it's something they never forget. I think that's because Varanasi doesn't just show you spirituality, it makes you feel it in a very raw, in a very personal way. So for
Hmm.
me, the spiritual connection to the temples here is very layered. I grew
Hmm.
up seeing the temples, hearing the morning chants, watching people who come from all over and pay their respects. But even then, every visit feels a bit different. I have been
Hmm.
to Kashi Vishwanath temple million of times. I must have gone there. But still
Hmm.
every time I go there it's a different experience. It as if I haven't been here before. It feels like something new, something that touches me from inside. And
Hmm.
sometimes, it's a quick bow, and sometimes something just clicks. A certain chant, a quiet moment in the temple, or a kind of peace that you carry with you as long after you leave. And when you talk about rituals, people, when they leave from Varanasi, they have their own rituals because Varanasi is considered as the oldest city. Or you
Hmm.
can say there are some beliefs where it's like that this city is established by Lord Shiva himself. It is said
Hmm.
that the city is like 3,000 years old. Some people believe it's like 5,000 year olds. And you will also find reference of this city in Rig Veda. It is said that this city has existed since the Vedic times.
Hmm.
The city has so much to it that it's a pilgrimage basically.
Hmm.
Okay, it's so we call it Tirth Yatra. So it's a pilgrimage when people go to a place like that where there is so much devotion and spiritualism. When they come back, they carry a part of it. When you visit
Hmm.
Varanasi and when you leave Varanasi, you carry a part of it. The essence of Varanasi goes with you wherever you go. So that is,
Hmm.
you can say that when people come back from a pilgrimage, they want to keep that essence. So what some people do, they will, walk around all over their house so that it feels the positivity, the vibe of the city is
Hmm.
staying with those people in that house, and everyone around it is blessed. And okay, and if I talk about my personal experience, I would say,
Hmm.
when I went to Kashi Vishwanath temple, one of the very important, very close to heart experience, I would say. So
Hmm.
it was early morning. Everything was so calm. You could see people. There was crowd. People were there. They were waiting in line to get inside the temple and pay to Lord Shiva and worship them. But still, there was so much serenity. Everything felt so calm. The city was
Hmm.
slowly waking up, and that temple has its own heartbeat. It's a
Hmm.
timeless energy. It somehow grounds you and lifts you at the same time.
Hmm.
So and when if you talk about a tourist experience, as you asked, I will take a very famous example actually. There
Hmm.
recently I found a reel circulating on Instagram. So you must be aware about the Scottish actor Gerard Butler, right? He is
Hmm.
amazing. He's one of the masterpiece movies are 300. So he visited Varanasi recently and he fell in love with this place. He's completely all over, like head over heels for this place. And not just in a love way, it's in a very, respectful and devotional way. He
Hmm.
came
Hmm.
here, he visited temples, he visited Ganga River, he even meditated there. And he said that there was so much, chaos, but still he could feel that calm. And it's not just that person. I would say I met so many people, so many tourists who feel like when once they visit this place, once they visit this city, they realize what they are. They realize how important they are. They realize how important the cycle of life, birth and death is. Even the tourists, not just you will I'll say not just the Indians, not just the Hindus, but everyone who visits knows that you're not just visiting a city, you're visiting a place that will that will help you relate to yourself even more. That is what the actor felt. That is what every tourist feels. That is what the people residing in this city also feels. So yeah.
Yeah, that's so amazing. That's so amazing, description, the explanation about what city has to offer to the people, has to offer to the devotees, the tourists. And now, since you're talking about this, I would like to, think around, just by turning the table around, what do you think the other way around is? What do you think the large number of tourists, visiting this place these days, the influx of this huge amount of devotees to Varanasi? What do you think they are, influencing the essence of the city in itself? Like how the
So
contribution in the other way around is like.
I would say, it's such an interesting shift to witness when it comes to, the influx of tourists. Uh, they are undeniably changed. They have undeniably
Mhm.
changed Varanasi in many ways. You have
Hmm.
this age old city. It's deeply, deeply rooted in tradition. And now it's blending with global perspectives because there are so
Yes.
many people from all around the world visiting this city. They have their own ideas. And because
Yeah.
we, as the, people of the city, have to welcome them, we are also, understanding their idea. It's not just we are grounded in nine. We have to be there. We have to only follow our ideas. No, when people are coming from outside, they are bringing their own, beauty and perception with them. So this city currently, despite being rooted in tradition, it's blending with global perspectives, new ideas, and people from
Yes.
all walks of life. And while at times it can feel, a bit overwhelming seeing the ghats
Hmm.
crowded, like the one complaint, I wouldn't say complaint, you could say the, bit negative side of the people who have already visited Varanasi is like, oh, there's so much crowd.
Hmm.
It can be a bit overwhelming. I get it. Seeing the ghats, they're crowded. The streets are busier than usual. They're always busier than usual. All the rituals being captured by the people there. They're on their phone. They're capturing arti. They're capturing the
Yes.
vibe. They're capturing the scenery and everything. But I
Yes.
think in a way, it adds a new layer to the city's essence. The tourists
Hmm.
and the seekers, they bring a fresh curiosity, they bring a reverence. Even if they don't fully understand every aspect, they're bringing a part of themselves in the city. They ask questions, they want to experience the depth of Varanasi, and this actually keeps the culture alive in its own way. It does. It's not just, Kashi and there is arti, there is ghat, there are temples. No, it's not just that. It has its own culture, and when people
Hmm.
come from outside, they bring their own culture, and there is this beautiful amalgamation of these cultures, and the fruit of this amalgamation is like pure heavenly, I would say. Maybe, I mean, so when you see people from around the world drawn here, it's a
Hmm.
reminder. It's a reminder
Hmm.
that everyone needs to understand. It's a reminder of the power of this place. It
Hmm.
has a universal pull to it. For locals, it's also, a bit humbling. We see people come here with so much respect, and it
Hmm.
reminds us to not take this city for granted. Because sometimes what happens now, it is human nature. When we have something, eventually over time we stop understanding the importance, and because we are
Hmm.
locals, we need to be humbled that people are coming to this very city from all around the world. We can't have pride that we live in the
Yeah.
city. No, we have to be humble. The people are coming, and we have to realize that I am blessed to be born and brought up in the city. Of
Very true.
course, there's always a delicate balance. Too much
Hmm.
commercialization can be risky, I would say, when you're talking about the influx of tourists and
Hmm.
seekers. So I
Yes.
would say there has to be a proper balance, because if there is no balance, everything just goes south and nothing's gonna work. So too much commercialization can be risky. It's
Do you
important.
think that balance has been taken care of in the present scenario?
I mean, you can say, because you see, there are two parts. When you visit Varanasi, you won't see one Varanasi. It's like two different
Hmm.
Varanasis. There is an old
Hmm.
Varanasi where you will find,
Hmm.
the rustic, the historic Varanasi, which still has its, root in it. And then you'll
Hmm.
move on to a newer version of Varanasi where
Modern.
yes, there is modernization. They are taking the ideas from all around the world, and
Hmm.
inculcating it in the city. So there is a balance, but there are some places, I would say, like some people maybe, where there's way too much commercialization. Like, I would say, you know, when people come from outside of the city and they want to worship, there are people, you can pay and they can get you in easily, but that is not
Hmm.
how it should be. The city
Hmm.
has to remain authentic. It can't lose its heart, becoming just a tourist attraction. It's not just that. If it is managed, if the balance is managed thoughtfully, I think the presence of tourists can actually enrich the spirit of the city. They bring new stories, they add
Hmm.
layers to city's narrative, and they often leave with a part of this city's energy. As I told you, like when they leave this place, it's not just they are leaving physically, they carry a part of this city with themselves. This exchange is also, it's like a, it feels almost like a continuation of, Varanasi cycle of life, where
Hmm.
tradition and spirituality meets the modern world and
Hmm.
creates something beautiful. That is what is happening at the moment. I think there is a balance being created. It's like if we come to Varanasi, you will get to experience the actual Varanasi. You'll also get to experience, the modernized version. So there is a balance, which is good, and I believe maybe that is one of the reasons why more and more people want to visit Varanasi, want to come here and experience this city.
Hmm. So amazing. It's so amazing to know about city. And something very personal question now. So I've never been to Varanasi before, but as somebody who was born and brought up in South India, so there is this very unique observation that when it comes to Shiva temples. So Shiva here, Shivji is named in varieties of names, like thousands of names. Each temple has its own unique name. But when it comes to Vishwanath temples, right? So many temples, even one in my hometown, and many in South India for that matter, Vishwanath temples are not actually named Vishwanath temples. They are named Kashi Vishwanath temples. So here the word Kashi in front of Vishwanathji's name, like an initial, it becomes an identity for the god, right? So on that note, I was like grown up thinking that Kashi is all about Vishwanath alone. But as I keep growing and as I was reading books or specifically these days, a lot of YouTube videos will teach you that Kashi is not just about Vishwanath. So I would like to know from you, what are these gods like that Varanasi is worshipped at, or is there any hierarchy kind of a thing between gods?
So I would say first thing that when it comes to gods, there is never a
Hmm,
hierarchy. I
hmm,
personally believe that, because
hmm.
you will see in our spiritual religious scriptures and everywhere, you will see Lord Vishnu, bowing in front of Lord Shiva. You will see Lord Shiva
Yes.
doing same to Lord Vishnu. So I don't believe there is a hierarchy. And when
Hmm,
it comes to, Kashi Vishwanath temple, as I said already, that it is believed
hmm,
that this city was, established by Lord Shiva himself.
hmm,
And around the world, there are like 12 Jyotirlings, the 12 main temples of Lord Shiva. And out of all those 12 main temples, Kashi Vishwanath is termed as the, highest. There you can say, yeah, this has a hierarchy. It's the same god, but in
hmm,
different ways. And here, Kashi Vishwanath is like, so basically, what Vishwanath means, Vishwanath means Vish is world, Nath
hmm,
is parent. So, Lord Shiva the the guardian of this whole world, and that is why
hmm,
there comes Vishwanath, which is the name of this temple, Vishwanath. Kashi, the Kashi is added to it because, as I said, like this is the city established by Lord Shiva himself, and many people believe that the city is actually balancing on the Trishul of Lord Shiva, like it's
The,
balancing right
hmm,
here, yeah, and nothing can harm because Lord Shiva
hmm,
is God of creation and destruction. So
Hmm.
nothing can touch this city. I'll also say, like, you can't see, as far as I remember, I don't see any type of, natural calamity happening here, even either
Hmm.
it is flood or drought. Yeah, it has never happened. He himself resides here. It is believed that he
Yeah.
himself resides
He's
here in
taking
Kashmir.
care of his abode. Yes.
Yes, exactly. And when you talk about Kal Bhairav, so
Hmm.
Kal Bhairav is actually guardian of the city. Is
Hmm.
like a in we call him Kotwal. Kotwal is like a
Hmm.
guard. Yeah, he's guarding
Hmm.
the city. So once, okay, so if you're entering someone's house and there is a watchman, okay, you take
Hmm.
that watchman's permission before entering the house. That watchman has
Hmm.
to, that guard has to, I won't say watchman, watchman maybe not the right word, but guard. You need to,
Hmm.
put your initials in guard's book and let them know that where you're going, why you're going, and the purpose of your visit. So it is said that when you come to Varanasi, the first temple you need to visit is Kal Bhairav. You go there and you take his permission that Lord, I came to Varanasi, I'm visiting here. Please allow me, please permit me, please allow me to have, to soak up all the experience, the spirituality, the beauty of the city. So, and also it is believed in some of the scriptures, you'll find that Kal Bhairav is no one but and an incarnation of Lord Shiva himself. So there is no
Hmm.
hierarchy. So there is Lord Shiva residing in city, and you come to
Hmm.
Varanasi. You take Kal Bhairav's permission that please allow me to visit this city, experience it. Please allow me to let me visit Kashi Vishwanath temple. You take Lord Shiva's blessings, and then once you do that, then you can visit Varanasi. That is how it is believed, and it is said that if you go to Varanasi and if you don't visit Kal Bhairav, most importantly, your
Hmm.
visit to Varanasi is incomplete. So
Hmm.
that is how it is. Even though Lord Shiva, the Kashivata temple is greatest among all, but you have to take the permission of the Kotwal of the city, Kal Bhairav, to actually experience the serenity of the city.
Amazing, amazing. So clearly, no hierarchy. It's the same God, but having
Yeah.
performing his own duties in his
Mhm.
places, right?
Yeah, exactly. I would say that. Yeah.
Question that not actually a question, but a very quick advice or a one-shot note, if you want to provide or a suggestion, kind of, to somebody who is visiting Varanasi for the first time. Like, what would that be?
Hmm. Okay, that's actually a very good question, and I would actually
Hmm.
want our viewers and audience to know about this.
Hmm.
So I'll directly talk to the audience. Okay, so I would say
Yes, please.
if you are visiting this city for the first time, please do not plan it. You cannot have a checklist that, okay, I'll visit here, I'll go to Kashi temple, I'll go to ghats, I'll go to this alley, I'll go to Ramnagar fort. No, that does not work. You have to come with an open heart and let go of any expectations. If you really really want to, if you are coming here for a work for a day or two or something like that, that's different. But if you're actually coming here to experience the city, the only advice I would give is come with an open heart and let go of any expectations. Because the city isn't a place that you can experience by following a checklist. It's a
Hmm.
city that reveals itself to you in unexpected ways. You cannot be like, "Ki, okay, I'll go there and there'll be so much crowd and it will be so much pushing and shoving." No, you will be there. There will be crowd. There will be pushing and shoving, but still you will experience, serenity and calmness.
So there is
And
no set itinerary required. If Shiva
no,
can
not
guide the entire
at
universe, he can
all.
guide you across Varanasi.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and he is the one who will, you visit Kal Bhairav, you've taken his permission, you took Lord Shiva's blessing, you're free to roam around
Hmm.
city and experience it. So I would suggest give yourself this space to just
Hmm.
be here without trying to capture and understand everything. Don't think you know. You have to leave aside your ego. You have to leave aside your smartness and be like, oh no, I know this. I can visit here. This is enough. No, you have to, just let go of all your expectations or your understanding. I know everything, because you do not. When you come to this city, you realize you do not know a lot of things. I would okay here I would give a very important example. Okay, I'll come to the example in the end. But before that, I would say what else you can do when you come here. I would suggest, take time. Take your time and sit by the river, even if it is just in silence. Allow
Hmm.
yourself to soak up the energy of this place. You can wander through the narrow lanes and talk to the locals. You can let yourself get
Hmm.
lost a little. Get lost, I would say. Get lost in the alleys, then you will, but when you will find your way out of those alleys, you will find yourself. You will be a different person. So there's a charm in the you know uh, unpredictability here. So don't be afraid to explore beyond the famous ghats. You just don't have to be like, okay, I'm coming to Varanasi, I'll go to temples, I'll go to ghats. No, there are quarter spots. Okay, there are smaller shrines, there are hidden stories, tucked away in the corner of the city. Let yourself be drawn to whatever catches your attention, whether it's a small tea stall or a local artisan shop or a peaceful spot by Ganga. And most importantly, respect the rhythm of the place. Do not
Hmm.
disrespect this. This is not just a city like any other city. It's much more than that. It has its own unique pulse. This city has its own heartbeat. You can experience it
Hmm.
when you come here. And the best way to truly experience is to slow down. Let go of the control you have been trying. So you have to let go of it. Let the city guide you. Let Lord Shiva guide you. Let this,
Yeah.
the history, the culture of this city guide you. And in those moments of surrender,
Hmm.
okay, that is when you will feel most powerful insights of the city. And uh, when you come to Varanasi, it's not just about coming here and being a tourist. For example, I would say Manikarnika Ghat is the place where cremation happens.
Hmm.
Place gives you the reality check that you are
A total vibe.
yes, you are nothing. It will tell you you are nothing. The control you are trying to possess, and the power you're trying to possess, or you are you're time bound and trying to do things in your certain way, but that is not how work it. That place, that Manikarnika Ghat, when you see the flames, there is cremation 24/7 there. You
Hmm.
sit there from, or you watch the flames going high. Just watch it and you will realize there is this cycle of birth, rebirth, and death. And you can't just control everything. And you are nothing. You are just a small atom in this world. This is the reality of life. Everyone has to leave this world. Everyone is going to face the judgment day, is going to face the end of it. So saying that having said that, I would say don't control things when you're coming to Varanasi. Be free. Let the energy soak in you, and then only you will know how the real experience of visiting the city for the first time.
Yeah. Experience for the first time, and you'll be pulled into for the next second, third.
Yeah.
Yeah. So amazing, so amazing. So yeah, sometime need to plan.
So
Yes.
yeah, when are you planning, Tom? You should come. You should let me know. I'll be your guide, and we can travel
Thank you so
together.
much. I have somebody now to guide me to take me on the street of Varanasi, so I have to miss a chance.
Even like
Surely.
earlier this year, one of my friends came here.
Mm,
Even though I have been living in this city all my life, still
mm.
when I was with him, I was traveling all around the city. I felt it. I felt the energy despite living in the city for all these years. I felt that.
Again, new energy.
Yes, I was the resident, yet I was the tourist, and still it felt like, you never felt before kind of thing.
Amazing, amazing, amazing.
Varanasi has a lot of flavors. It is intense,
Hmm.
it is fun, it is spiritual, it is chaotic. So
Hmm.
that also, like, this place is also famous for a lot of controversies. Must be aware. Again, everyone has their
Hmm.
own views and perceptions. But in the end, the city was, is, and will always be, the place where people will always choose to come during the end of their days.
Lot. Thank you so much for the blissful information. And one takeaway, if I want to take from this entire conversation, visit Varanasi ASAP, as
Yeah,
early as
visit, yes, and
the
don't have
possible.
any expectations.
Hmm.
Yeah, just be like a, a kid entering in the world for the first time. Here is what you
Hmm.
experience, and experience life. So yeah, thank you so much
Definitely.
for having me. It
I
was
should be
great.
thanking you so much. I should be thanking you so much. Thank you so
No,
much for coming on.
I loved being here. I loved having this conversation, and it's so good to see that you are going to spread this information, and a lot of people are going to see it, and they'll understand the importance, and they will. Even I, as a resident of the city, I would love to people come here and experience the truth of life and experience truth of the city. So, thank you for that.
Thank you so much, Swamiji. Thank you.
Thank you.